Hey, good morning. Hope y'all are having an amazing Thursday. It's going to be a scorcher down here at the lake in Georgia, but so glad you're here. Anybody expecting over 100 degrees where you are today? It has been so freaking hot. It's unbelievable. I miss Alaska. I came home from Alaska and 112 degrees heat index down here in central Georgia at the lake. So it's wonderful too, but it has been a hot summer. And just if you've got any buddies that you knew that were joining on YouTube this morning, or joining us on Twitch, or joining us on Instagram, we had technical streaming issues, so it's only on Facebook this morning. It will be, the rebroadcast will be put on those other channels, especially YouTube. But if you got people that you know are tuning in on YouTube, you may want to tell them to come join us here on Facebook. And if you have anybody, let me tell you, this call today is for someone looking at Juice Plus that doesn't understand the journey that we go on to build a business. And it's especially for those partners and sponsors, leaders that are mentoring a partner, to make sure they're doing the right things and know what to do at each stage of the journey. So right now, while we're kind of warming up and getting everybody to join us, who do you know that you want to join us on this call today? Go ahead and tag them in a comment and bring on all the people that you want to come watch us. And even if you tag them, even if they're busy and they can't watch it live, they'll get the notice and they can watch it later. So go ahead and tag whoever you want to tag in your group, on your team, to come watch us and join us on this call, or watch it later just so they get tagged. Make sure that's going to happen. And we have Hope running the sideline show, and Trey's here. So if you need anything, you have a question, put it in the comments, and Hope will be right on top of that and jump in there and make sure that happens for you, okay? You ready to dive in? All right. We're going to have fun today. I'm so excited. And just so you'll know, this is not one of our regular start well, finish strong calls. This is the special training for August that we're doing, really to focus in on some important skills you need to learn with our Juice Plus business. Maybe a little bit this time, understanding where you are, reacting. Are you brand new? Are you on that first leg of the journey? Or are you a middle-level leadership person trying to cross the finish line and get to national marketing director? Maybe you're almost a sales coordinator trying to finish that. We're not going to focus as much on titles this morning as we are the mindset and the roles that each person has as that leader, sponsor, mentor, and then that new partner really starting to do this business. I got a question for you. How many of you ever did something like this before doing Juice Plus? Lori and I, this whole direct sales thing, I mean, I went to Emory, got a degree, Georgia Tech got a degree, went and got a master's in biblical studies. None of those things prepared me for this business. I mean, I guess in some sense they gave you life skills, but I never thought I would be doing something like this. So when we first started, it was like crazy. Like I had to learn this thing from ground zero, did not know what I was doing. Maybe you can put a 1 in the comments if you got started and you didn't have a clue how to do a business like this, but you were just excited, you know. Maybe put a 2 in there if you're like a veteran and you just said, this is a piece of cake, and you already knew how to do it. That might be the worst answer, because sometimes people that think they know how to do it, they don't apply themselves very well because they think they know. So we're going to get into all that, okay? Again, if you have any major questions, ask Hope, and she'll jump in there and answer those for you in the comments. And I'll respond to your comments later. It's just hard to do it while you're talking. If you're a master, if you all, anybody on here knows how to do a presentation on live, be attentive with the audience, and be engaged in the comments at the same time, I need to hire you because you are amazing. I can multitask, but that's beyond my realm of ability. So here we go. So the 2 things we're going to talk about today, and you could use different names. You could use mentor, you could use sponsor, you could use upline, but this is the leader person. This is the person that is bringing on a new person. They're teaching, instructing, inspiring, modeling, showing them how to do it. All those things are happening with the leader. And then the partner is the brand new person that's on the journey, okay? And every one of you on this call actually should be playing both those roles. Think about it. You should have a leader, mentor, upline that's helping you on your journey. And then you should be the leader, mentor, upline for people on your team that are on their journey. So everybody on this call, maybe not equally effective, but everybody on this call is playing both those roles. Y'all know the story in the Bible about Paul, whose previous name was Saul, and he got blinded on the road to Damascus, and he became a believer. He was a strong Jewish leader. Well, Paul, really, in my mind, is more famous, and the lesson we can learn from him today is how he built the church, how he had a message, the gospel message, and he traveled all over, and he spread that message. He found leaders in other cities, and isn't that what we want to do? You know, just like he went in, if it was today, he says, I've got to go build my business in Ephesus. And he goes over there, and he finds a dynamic young individual named Timothy, whose grandmother, whose name was Lois, my grandmother was Lois, so I'm kind of fond of Timothy, and had poured into him, and he was just this unbelievable potential next generation leader. So Paul poured into him to lead that city. So when you're going to open a new market, that's a skill to learn. You go open a new market and you learn a new, you learn how to develop a leader in that market. But here's why I said that. Paul knew that he needed different roles and relationships in his life. He needed a mentor to pour into him. He needed a Barnabas. Barnabas was the one that ran alongside Paul. He was like his buddy, like Jay Martin says. He was his side buddy. So Paul needed a mentor, he needed a Barnabas, and he needed a Timothy. That was somebody to pour into. Everybody needs all three of those roles in their life, and especially in this business. You need a mentor, a seasoned, experienced veteran to pour into you. You need a Barnabas to run with you like shoulder to shoulder, and you have a good day and he's got a bad day, so he pulls you up, and he has a bad day, you have a good day, so you pull him up. And then you need a Timothy to pour into to develop that next generation of leaders. So that's what these two roles represent as we're talking about this. And let me give credit where credit's due here. The foundation, not the actual content, but the foundation from which I'm going to teach you today is from Ken Blanchard from decades ago. I mean, way back. Quintessential Business Skills 101. I think it was originally called a Management Square or something. But it's the journey that we all go on as a leader, raising up the next generation, all the phases. So we're going to walk through that. But this is the Juice Plus version of something I read 30 years ago that created the framework for this. All right. So in this leader-partner dynamic, sorry, my allergies are crazy this morning. The first leg of your journey, that brand new person, they are living in unconscious incompetence. They don't know what they're doing. And so as the leader, you've got to give direction. This is where you're being directive. You're telling them what to do. It's kind of like if you had a child in your house, when they're a baby and just figuring out this world, you don't tell them, hey, Sally, don't touch the stove, it's hot. No, you keep them from touching the stove. You are engaged in steering, directing, keeping them out of trouble. Okay? Now, there's a couple things we need to think about here. Is you have confidence coming into this. So you're excited. You have probably recruited them, sponsored them, brought them on board because your belief level, your zeal, your confidence, your excitement for this business has become contagious. Great book if you want a book to read. Anybody like book recommendations? Okay. There's a book called Contagious, Why Things Spread, and it's got an orange cover. Let's see what the guy's name that wrote that is. Jonas Berger. John Blair gave me that book. If you want a book about how to be more contagious, it's a great book. Contagious by Jonas Berger. And Hope, can you maybe look that up on Amazon and stick that link in here if you're available? Okay, so your confidence is contagious. Your energy, your zeal, your belief is probably what made them decide to join you. But their confidence without you is not very effective right now, because remember, they've caught your buzz, they've caught your energy, but they don't know what they're doing. So I mean, they would charge hell with a squirt gun, even a squirt gun that didn't work at this point, because your confidence has been contagious. But confidence is not competence. They are not capable or competent at this business. They are functioning off of the fumes of your engine, okay? So remember, your role is so important here, because they're excited. This is when they go out and make big mistakes too, when they go out and try and dump information on amazing prospects and they don't understand the conversation, the relationship aspect of our business. They don't understand how to transfer belief. They just dump information, and they can mess up some good people because they're confident and they don't know what they're doing. Okay? Remember that. In the brand new person, they've got that energy like the racehorse coming out of the gate. But if they didn't have the blinders on that horse and know he needed to stay in his lane, he'd be in trouble. That jockey's steering that horse. So you're kind of the jockey on your new person. Okay? Now, this is where, so this first stage, you're super needed. Number one, they wouldn't have joined if you didn't have that energy and zeal and belief. But this is what happens to everybody. There is a cliff that they hit. They're excited, but everybody runs into this, depending on to what degree and depending on how good you are as a leader, sponsor, partner to help them, guide them. Will they survive this? And I think during COVID, a lot of what happened is people hit this like everybody does. And hitting it, what I mean is that they start asking these questions when they don't have the rapid success they thought they would have with confidence that had no competence, because they were running on your fumes. Can I really do this? Is this the right vehicle for me? It's me, not you. You blame yourself. I could never do anything like this. Nobody wants to do this with me. So yeah, they start hearing that, and what happens is they move to a new place, and that everybody hits it. The truth sets in that this is not this easy, just sit back and make it happen kind of thing. No, I need to drive this engine. I need to put my effort into this, and somebody needs to tell me how to do this. I need to listen. I don't just need to charge hell with a squirt gun, because this cliff comes for everybody. You have high expectations, and then all of a sudden you realize, I have got this amazing lawn, but I do have to use the lawnmower. How many of you have gotten into something? I'd love to put a 1 in the comments. How many of you have gotten into something because it looked shiny and amazing, or somebody made it look shiny and amazing? Put a 1 here if it's true. And all of a sudden you realize that this is awesome, but I do have to use the lawnmower too. If I want to keep this thing going, the analogy is, how many of you got into something, the grass was beautiful, and then you realized you had to use the lawnmower too? This is where these people are in our business that don't get good direction and leadership. And sometimes, maybe you didn't do this, but sometimes in the recruiting process, we create false expectations. Okay? How many of you have created false expectations and you had to come back and say, maybe they misunderstood you, or you painted a picture that wasn't real? Like, I'll have people ask me how to make $10,000 a month. I can show them how to do that. That's not a problem for me to show somebody how to make $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month in this business, but they have to understand it. I didn't get to the success level I'm at today in 90 days. So there's things that have to be done to go build that business. I remember Bob Burdick way back in the day sharing, if you did this, if you talked to 2 new people a day for X number of days, I would guarantee your income. And most of you, if I guaranteed you would make $10,000 a month, which that wasn't necessarily the illustration. I'm just using that as an example. If you guaranteed somebody they'd make $10,000 a month, if they did X, there's so many people that still wouldn't do X even though they knew they could do that because they won't consistently put out the effort they need to put out. So that sometimes there's a false expectation. So this cliff comes for everybody. So just know your new person is going to hit this wall of doubt. I mean, it's going to happen. Guarantee you hit it. If you've been in this business more than 6 months, you have had this point when you got 5 no's in a row or whatever, you hit that point. So what do we have to do? Well, here's where rubber hits the road right here. This is where the leader stands up and acts like a leader that wants to reproduce and do the things they need to do versus giving in to that new person's doubt and letting that person's doubt affect them. So watch this. Watch carefully here. What that person, what your new partner wants to do when they hit that wall, it's like that cliff is like they fall into a pit and they're going to throw a pity party. And you have to react to that. You as the leader, this is where you are going to shine like a rock star or you're going to sink with the ship. Listen carefully. They are going to, some to varying degree than others, but when they hit that wall, and why did they hit the wall? They got started into something where they were so excited, they were unconsciously incompetent. They didn't know what they were doing, so they didn't do the right things and they hit a wall. You've got to re-steer them. That child touched the hot stove anyway, because you didn't stop the hand from hitting it. They're going to throw a pity party. What are you going to do? Are you going to go down there and cry with them and hug them and get sucked into their drama? Or are you going to be the leader and do the only right thing is leaders offer a ladder. They don't get in the pit with them. You stick the ladder down there and now your confidence, they have no confidence. And in this moment, it's your confidence that's taking them through this season of the business. You've got to pull them up by the bootstraps. Hey, you know what? You didn't use me on 3-way calls. You didn't let me help you. You just went out and slung brochures and information and links and videos and Zoom schedules everywhere, and you didn't talk to that person. You didn't transfer your belief with that person. And I told you that if you would just get me on 3-way calls, and if you would just listen 10 times, you would know how to do this. But you didn't do that. We talked about it, but we didn't do it. Here's a ladder. Let's you and I get on the phone first. Let's talk through this, and let me do this with you for a season, and we'll be fine. But leaders offer a ladder. Leaders do not get in the pity party with them. How many of you have been guilty and you've seen your whole business stop, pause, and in hindsight, you can put a 1 in the comments. In hindsight, you can go back and say, you know what, I'll let that person's phase of the business, their second phase when they realize they're incompetent, I'll let their realization of their incompetence and frustration and doubt, I allowed that to stop me in my tracks because I've tried to get in there and comfort them instead of being the leader and just putting the ladder down there and getting them out of the ditch. That's what we have to do. And I'm gonna tell you another illustration right here real quick. I can't help it. This may be a little bit longer training this morning. Y'all good if we go a little bit over 30 minutes? So pretend like this is a great analogy. You're on a train and you're the engineer, you're driving this train, and your train's headed to National Marketing Director. You're focused on finding your 5 key people. You're on this train headed to National Marketing Director. And what you're doing is your train is headed in the right direction towards your target. You make stops. Trains have stops, right? And you stop in, Stockton. They say that's the name of it. You stop in Stockton. You got a friend in Stockton. They're amazing. They'd be amazing at this business. And you have a little quick conversation with them. You open the door, and they say, you know what? I've got to get my nails done. My dog is got to be picked up from the groomer. My kids have a birthday party this afternoon. I can't do it right now. Or, parents are going through a divorce. Whatever. There's just life drama going on. And you have a choice. You can stop your train and wait on them to get through their crap. Everybody has that in life. Everybody's got excuses. Everybody has stuff. Or what you really need to do is, I'm headed to National Marketing Director. It's very important to me. I'll make another loop back through here, and maybe you'll be ready when I come back through. Are you going to stop and wait on that person and let them destroy all your momentum? Are you going to move on, find the next person that's ready now, and you'll make another loop back around and find that person? Don't get in this pity party and let them stop your mojo, okay? Give them a ladder. All right, so what that second phase that we just been talking about, when they jump off that cliff, they hit doubt, they realize they're incompetent, you're coaching there because they're conscious instead of unconscious incompetence. Now they are totally aware that they don't know what in the devil they're doing. And they have to, you're the lifeline, you're the oxygen, you're the blood that keeps them flowing to get them through this phase. It's like you say, you put them on your back and you're going to help them ride. They're going to ride piggyback with you through this phase of doubt to get to the next level. Everybody hits it. Everybody hits it in varying degrees. Some people have better leaders than others. This was probably the hardest thing to accomplish during COVID because being face-to-face really makes this part of the process easier. It was very hard in my mind to do this second phase when they had doubts and, you know, and all they were doing was just posting and posting and posting and posting more on social media, thinking post it and they will come, and they were just wearing their audience out. It was hard to make that correction and be with them during COVID. So this second phase was really hard to do during COVID. It's easy now. I mean, it's so easy to be face to face and see it. Just you light somebody up. It's like they're riding piggyback. And I know you're frustrated. I was too when I got started. I didn't know what the heck I was doing either. Just jump on my back and we'll ride through this. And in 90 days we'll have you the sales coordinator. But just get me on the phone. Let's do 3-way phone calls. Use me as your expert while you're learning. Use my story while you're building your story. That's got to happen during this phase. Okay. Now, I'm spending more time on this phase than any other because I want you to hear this. Partners navigating the cliff, not the leader, but the partner. Here's what they're feeling: failure, incompetence, vulnerable. And if their sponsor has tried to do this business by sending them stuff, you do know that people join you in this business because they want to do something with you. They didn't join something that you were going to tell them what to do. Think about that for a minute. People got in this business with you. They didn't get in a business for you to tell them what to do. Are you doing it with them? If you're not, the fact that they're alone in this endeavor and they don't know what they're doing will make people quit at this point. If you're not there with them at this point, the loneliness that they feel without the support structure, have you done the connection calls and connected them with their 5 upline they get paid on them? You know, and if you're on the same learning curve with them, have you connected them with an expert or a mentor that's further along the learning curve than you are, so they've got good support and they know it and they don't feel alone? Because what happens when they feel failure, incompetence, and vulnerable and alone, they can easily come to the conclusion they made the wrong choice. Because they thought they were getting into something with you that was exciting because you were excited, and they found out that they joined a business that you were just telling them what to do. Are you doing that? It's not a right way to build a long-term business and have somebody that's going to create residual income for you and your family for years to come. You got to be with them. You got to be available, okay? All right. And the partners at this phase, they know they need a coach. That's what we were just talking about. I forgot I had this extra slide. But just like these people dangling, you're right there with them, right above them. If they don't understand what they're doing, they don't know how to pull themselves up on the rope, no problem. You got them. Just grab their hand and go. Okay? So no, they need a coach, and that is you. And when you sponsor someone, you have accepted, when you sponsor someone, you have accepted the responsibility to either be that coach or make sure somebody in y'all's upline together is that coach. Do not sponsor somebody and send them on a journey to go out and do it by themselves. That just doesn't work. And it's not fair. All right. So when you're the leader going through this cliff process, you need to offer grace. Here's what you're bringing to the table. Grace. To forgive them they need to feel forgiven, not judged for messing up. They didn't know what they were doing. They messed up. Great. Give them some grace. with our company, if they miss their first deadline, they can restart. They're going to live off your experience. You're going to give them right tools. How many people on your team have you spent some time and invested in them and showed them how to use that amazing Boards app on their phone? I mean, great leaders, they'll bring somebody new on board and they're creating pages in the Boards app. So if their new person runs into a mom that has kids that could be on the Healthy Starts, they've got a board they can send them that links them right to their website. If you don't have an upline that's doing that for you, go to your upline national marketing director and say, who could help me get oriented on boards and make sure I've got pages that link to my website that when I talk to someone, I can send them information. You need that. Somebody in your upline needs to show you how to do that. Okay? That's what the leader does in this crisis. And the message is, I've got you and you've got this because I've got you. I've got you and you got this. That's what they're going to feel if you do it right. Okay, phase 3. This is cool. This is you successfully having them on your back, getting them through this doubt phase. And what happens now is they're conscious of their competence because you've helped them realize they didn't know what they were doing. They depended on you to get through that learning curve. And now it's not like it's second nature to them yet, but they're consciously competent because you've connected them with the right tools, the right experience, the right resources. And now, as long as they're focused, if they're not like totally like, I can do this with my eyes closed, they know where to get their answers. They know what tools they have available to them, and they know you're available when they run into something they don't, or they're not capable of overcoming. Okay, super important. Now, at this phase, this is where you're telling them that this is your message to the new partner. You're going to do this now. You rode my back through the last phase. You're going to do this now, and I'm going to help you. I'm here. 3-way phone calls. We'll do events together. I'll call you every day. I've got people that are 100 Club NMDs right now that for 90 days, we had a phone call at 4 o'clock every day for accountability to see what they did that day to build their business. Now, your partner has to want that accountability. But certainly as a leader, you need to be available to offer that accountability to make sure there's consistency in their business. Remember, consistency trumps occasional surges. We got to be consistent. We'll talk. That's what these power hours are doing. How many of you are plugged in or have done one of these? Heidi Big started. How many of you have done a power hour, or one of your uplines leading a power hour where you've said, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I give a dedicated hour to my business every day. I may do other stuff. Put a 1 in here, or put a PH, power hour, PH. Put a PH in here if you're using power hours. And if you want to give any comments of how much they've helped you, just lay it out in here. I mean, I talked to a mom who was 3 kids under 4 and made it sales coordinator in 90 days with all the credit being given to that dedicated power hour. So, but you do this, partner. You got this now. You're going to do it. I'm going to help you. I'm here. And let's look at what the whole kind of square looks. Look at this. Here's how this. I just told you, I help and you do. Look at this. The top of each phase of the square. In that first phase, when they're unconsciously incompetent, they don't know it. You're doing it, and they're watching. They need to let you do the 3-way phone calls. They need to let you have the conversations. They need to let you take on the burden and learn while you build their business. Why do you want to go watch a million Zoom lessons and do nothing? Why not let your amazing upline do your business with you and you get paid while you learn? So phase 1, I do, you watch. Phase 2, you are on my back. I do and you help. You can help, but your doubt, your lack of confidence is there, and I've got you. You're on my back. Phase 3 we just talked about. I help. You see how from phase 2 to phase 3 it's just a flip? I'm helping you, but you're doing it. I got you. It's like that mama eagle pushing the baby out. You know, you got to have roots and wings. They push that baby out of the nest, but the first time they push them out, they got to swoop down and catch them a lot of times because they haven't got it yet. And that's where you are in phase 3, okay? All right, here we go. Phase 4. This is a fun phase. You're the mentor now. And here's where this your partner has gotten, I mean, if you go back one right there, remember this is I watch and you do. So they got it now. They don't need you anymore necessarily, but you're there to help them. And here's the problem right here. Let me warn you. So, and it's happened to me many times because I'm guilty of this and in other areas of life too. When you become unconsciously competent, this is where you're a know-it-all. You do it in your sleep. It's second nature. You don't have to think about it. I mean, I can draw the stair steps, the marketing plan. I can even talk lutein zeaxanthin and age-related macular degeneration because I heard Dr. Du Bois talk about it so much. You know, I got it. But when you've got it like that, it's the analogy would be like, okay, you've got a middle school child who wants you to help them with their math homework. Now, I'm a math brain. Georgia Tech, I can do words occasionally, but if it's numbers, I got numbers. I mean, it's just, I know every credit card number in my wallet, every social security number in my family. I don't know why. God made me remember numbers. So I got this numbers thing down. So your child's sitting there at the table with you doing their homework, and you're tired, and they've got these math problems, and you just sit there and you do all the problems for them. You give them the answer. You know, they got 30 problems they got to do. Okay, Dad, will you help me? Yes. Answer 1, answer 2. So you do all of them. And because you understand it's second nature. But you know what? You may have helped that child get an A on the test, but they didn't learn diddly squat because you told them the answer. You didn't teach them the process. That's why I think today so many, they've got Google and calculators and computers. Nobody learns how to think. Isn't it? How many of you have been to a retail store, and let's say the clerk is there, 8 hours a day running that cash register. That's all they do. That's what their job is. And they tell you that'll be $10.85. And you give them $21 because you want $10.15. You don't want a bunch of ones. And it's like they want to hand you the $1 bill back, and it's like, is this the first time you've tried to make correct change? And it's just so frustrating to me. But anyway, if that frustrates you guys, let me know. Because, I mean, I get so frustrated when somebody that does this 8 hours a day and I'm just like flipping a math switch in my brain. I'm like, that just makes sense, doesn't it? I just made your life easier and you're trying to complicate the whole process. But anyway, so when you get to that point, you know it so well you can't teach it. So let me give you I don't have a pointer here I can pull up, but if you're going to have to go back to the bottom of that square, relational, conscious competence, you can teach a new person from there when you are, wait a minute, when you are helping them. When you are just watching them in phase 4 over here, yes, that new person is totally competent. But if you're going to train and develop the next person, when you get, so this is a leader up top there watching. This is the new person here, and they totally know what they're doing. I mean, let me go over here. So they're unconsciously competent, but you have to teach them. You walk through this process with them. But if they want to build their second, third, fourth, and fifth leg in this business to make national marketing director, they're going to have to go back and live in this phase 3 because you can't teach from the throne. If the throne is, I watch and you do, which is fine. Once you've developed a leader, you can watch them and be available, but you've got to go back and live in this bottom, I help and you do, to find your second leg, your third leg, and your fourth leg. And the danger is when you become so competent at this business that it's second nature, you get out of teaching, modeling, demonstrating mode, and you just want to shout commands. I'm picturing a college football team right now where some head coaches are on the field in the heat, right there grabbing somebody by their face mask and saying, you can't do it that way. And there are other coaches that are up in the air-conditioned press box screaming through a microphone and a PA system, but they're staying in the AC while the players are in the 110-degree heat. That player is going to learn. You don't have to necessarily have the helmet on and the pads on, but you better be down there on the field in the game with them, because remember, they got in this business to do it with you. They didn't get in this business or a business for you to tell them what to do. That's so important. All right. So here's the deal. That last phase, once you've mastered this, you need to be so confident, so strong, so committed to messaging your mission over and over and over again. if you don't let your overflow affect the next generation and you just sit there and tell them what to do and give them the answers to the problems, you're not going to multiply your business, because it's not about addition. It's about multiplying. And once you've mastered the mission, now it's time for you to multiply it. And that new person who's gone through those 4 phases, it's now time for his enthusiasm, excitement, belief, and energy to bring on that next person, so that they're there for them when that person hits the cliff, because they're going to hit it. Put them on their back, walk them through, get them to phase 3, and now that person's rock solid and they're off to the races. That's how this business works, day in and day out. Okay? So let's end the training here. I got a few more things to tell you. Where are you on that square? That's the question for you this morning. As a partner that's building their business, you're building your business, and you can answer right now. You can put I'm in phase 1, I'm in phase 2, I'm in phase 3, I'm in phase 4. Are you the person that's brand new charging hell with a squirt gun and you don't know what you're doing? So you're going at it, and are you in phase 2? You've hit the cliff. Maybe you did it wrong in phase 1. You didn't know what you were doing. But now, I know I don't know what I'm doing. Give me a 2 in the comments. Maybe you still need the help of your upline, but you're consciously, you know what you need to do, but that upline's still there to make sure you stay within the lanes. You're in phase 3. You're doing it, but you're not yet like totally confident that you can do it on your own. You still need that coach to walk you through some of this process, okay? That's a 3 in the comments. This is your business. We're going to get to the leader thing in a minute. And then maybe you're in phase 4. Maybe I would put myself in phase 4. I mean, I can do this in my sleep, but I have to go back to phase 3 to teach new people. Phase 4 is, unconsciously, I can do this. I'm competent in this enough. I've done it over and over and over and over again. I'm bulletproof. My belief's bulletproof. It doesn't matter what somebody tells me. I know what I know. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, or 4 is to where you are as a partner building your business. Okay? And now, I need to know, do you have somebody on your team that you are brand new, that they're living off your confidence? They don't know what they're doing, but you're helping them. So do you have somebody that's in that doubt phase 2? You have somebody on your team that's in phase 3 or phase 4. So maybe you've got all 4, but you may want to just think about that. You can put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in there again. We may get confused. You can put L1, put leader 1, leader 2, leader 3, or leader 4 for the second comment. But and those comments may get confusing, but at least I'm making you think about this question. Where are you in your business? And where are you at leading your people through this process? This is the real process. I mean, there's details and everybody's a little bit different, but I'm telling you, this process is the deal, okay? So that's your homework. Where are you for your business? Where are you as a leader trying to help that new person? And I guess one more question is, are you willing to be if you're going to recruit somebody, are you willing to be with them and not just recruit them and tell them what to do? It's a totally different game. If you're going to be available to do it with them, you can get them to phase 4 in this business. If you tell them what to do, it's like going to Las Vegas and putting money down on a card game, whether they're going to make it or not. There are not very many that make it through phase 2 without you being available. Sometimes your upline will jump in and save them if they're made aware. The good thing is, if you do those connection calls in the beginning and you build a relationship with the 5 people above that person, if for some reason they hit a big wall of phase 2 and you're on vacation or you're unavailable or something happens, that person still has a resource because they need a piggyback ride. Okay? All right. Couple announcements here. 90-day challenge is still going on. We're like a couple days past halfway because we were doing our 90-day challenge July, August, and September. But if you want to run the last 45 days with us, if maybe you need a reminder every day, go to makealife.com/90. There's memory jogger list of how to find who you need to talk to every day. There's a text reminder every day to help you have that conversation. We're having a blast. It's working big time, especially if you do this and you understand the phases of what that new person you're talking with is going to go through, and you let them know they're not going to have to do it alone. Game changer. So you can join us on that journey. Next, always updated if you go to makealife.com/coaching calendar. Now, I want to coach you like this. There are other people on my team that are in my open that are close to me that we're bringing on board that I'm coaching one-on-one. I cannot coach all of you one-on-one, but I want to impact your business if you want me to, if you need help, if you want me to play a role. You're still going to need your upline, connect with them for one-on-one coaching, but I think I can cast vision and teach the process and the rhythms that need to happen, and then you're still going to have that kick-off the month coaching call with your upline. The beginning of that last week of the month, you're going to have that call with your upline to roll up your sleeves and finish what you started and not just give in to a restart and do it all over again. Procrastination is going to happen unless you do something about it. And we know if we create urgency, urgency destroys procrastination. So if you go to that link, makealife.com/coaching calendar, it will let you subscribe to a calendar. You don't have to always be there, but if you subscribe to that calendar, all those events and even the ones we add and update in the future, they will be added to your calendar. So they'll always be there. You don't have to come, but at least you know what's available, okay? And it's always going to be available on replay. And I want to just challenge you that there's a big life God created for you. Each of us wired differently. He has a purpose, a plan, and a passion He's put into you. Just make sure that what you're doing to create an income. Our Juice Plus business is amazing. And it can be the right vehicle for you to create the life God designed for you. So what you do to make money becomes the foundation to fuel your purpose and passion, because there are a lot of people out there that what they do to create an income is an obstacle to their purpose and passion. And this business lets you do that. So let's go make an amazing life together. Let's stay connected, and we'll be doing a call to kick off the month of September right after Labor Day. If you go to that coaching calendar, you'll see it. Thanks for joining us. Tag anybody on your team in the comments that you want to hear this. And that was fun. Have a great day.